everybody, this is Dynamite for Classy Octopus. I ate a Tootsie Pop and now my tongue is purple. And this is the new Classy List show. So for every Renaissance man, a man who seems to be able to do anything talented, there are those who know what they're good at and know how to stick to it. So for every Viggo Mortensen, actor, author, publishing house owner, painter, composer, who is awesome, there is an Eric Clapton, who kills it at the guitar, but only at guitar, who is also awesome. But then for every Eric Clapton, there are... Let's start off with an easy one. Michael Jordan is like the one sports guy that practically anyone, even if they don't know a thing about sports, can name. And no, that's not just because of Space Jam. Really? 20th anniversary, this was the thing? Okay. Anyway, another thing everybody knows about Jordan, and again, not just because of Space Jam, is his brief stint as a baseball player. Here are stats for stat people, and for not stat people, this just basically says that he wasn't good at baseball. Hate to keep bringing up Space Jam, but the fact that Jordan being bad at baseball was an actual plot point to Space Jam kind of says everything. Seriously, if Jordan wasn't bad at baseball, he would have been another basketball player who got his powers stolen by the aliens, and then the Looney Tunes would have been doomed. Many actors go into singing for a movie or otherwise, and it makes sense. Like Ryan Gosling, who can kill it at singing, and it makes sense, because he kills it at everything. Or John Travolta doing an entire album, which, while it wasn't that good, this was right after Saturday Night Fever and Grease, so it made sense that he would want to do that. But what makes sense on zero levels is... Girl, I can't understand it, why you wanna hurt me? After all of the things I've done for you. I think the saddest thing about this scenario is that an Eddie Murphy album could have been really good. You see, back in the day, Eddie Murphy was known for doing impressions, and so if he did an album where each song was a parody of a certain artist, that would have been awesome. Especially in an age when Weird Al was starting to get popular. Instead, the world got the 1985 album How Could It Be? Fitting, with the big #1 hit, My Girl Likes to Party All the Time. My girl wants to party all the time, Sure she does, Eddie. Sure she does. Another really sad thing about this is that this album was huge. Like, ginormous. Making so much money. Live television can be a lot of quotation marks fun. Whether that be a variety show that's lasted over 40 years with its ups and downs, or it's an award show that you tell everyone you don't care about, but it's like the only thing on that night, so you really just watch it for the host, with ups and downs. Live television can also show the surmountable difference between TV journalism, something that's hard, and actual detective work, something that's much harder. Here's Geraldo Rivera in 1986 giving an hour-and-a-half TV special live on the opening of Al Capone's vault. Which of course sounds interesting, but here's the thing, Rivera had absolutely zero evidence to say anything was going to be in that vault. If you sit down to watch the whole thing instead of skipping to the end, which would be perfectly normal in this situation, you would probably say something like, wow, that movie had a lot of build but no ending. Although I will say this movie is gutsy for giving us a more real-to-life ending. Sorta interesting, 3 stars. And then you realize it actually happened and you immediately feel sorry for Rivera and the subsequent plummet of his career that had to / did happen. But it's okay, he was on an episode of My Name is Earl. That show was hilarious. Let's end on a fun note. Pun intended. You'll get that later. There you go. That's Luciano Pavarotti, the guy you may know as that one opera guy who used to hang out with those other 2 opera guys. He was a super cool dude, nice in interviews, often jokey, and remember when I mentioned Eric Clapton earlier? Well, I partially did that to transition to this. Holy Mother, bear with me. Awesome. So why is Pavarotti on this list? Well, here's the trailer to the 1982 film Yes, Giorgio, a project to bring Pavarotti to the world of comedy film.
Not afraid of a shot, are you?
Okay, that was funny. That and many other jokes that do land in the film are mostly thanks to this guy, Norman Steinberg, who you may recognize as the writer to Blazing Saddles, one of the best comedies of all time. Steinberg once said it was a huge honor to work with Pavarotti, and with good reason. The man was amazing. The problem is that he couldn't act that well outside of opera.
I've done you a great honor. I introduce you to my best friends.
So here's the thing I can't stress enough. Opera is extremely difficult. Like, Olympic difficult. So So Pavarotti being able to absolutely master opera makes it okay that he can't act here. Like, uber okay. Now I bet you're saying, my dear sir, how can you end a list like this on a positive note? I say if you can master something and be really, really good at it, don't worry about not being able to do other talented things. It's fine. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go edit this video while playing guitar and juggling. P.S. I hate Space Jam, and don't try to tell me it's good because watch it again, because I know you haven't. Watch it again as an adult. Boo!